Back at Keenan Stadium, Chapel Hill.
For an entire generation of Carolinians,
Busted play.
this is what football sounds like.
Ronnie McGill off the left side.
Gets blocking on the left side, turns the corner.
30, 35, 40, 45, 50, cutting back.
And then is finally snowed under across the Duke 40-yard line.
In Bob Harris's 30 years of calling Duke football and basketball, he's outlasted
2 basketball coaches, 8 football coaches, 3 athletic directors, and 4 presidents.
Woody Durham's 35 years of calling Carolina games are something of a surprise even to him.
When I got the opportunity to start doing the Carolina games in 1971, doing play-by-play on the radio was not even on my radar. I was a television guy.
But long before that, in a textile town of 12,000 in Stanley County, Woody Durham was the guy on the field. He played guard on Albemarle High School's undefeated football team in 1957 and began to see his future.
I had gotten started in radio just before my junior year in high school. I had a real love for sports and athletics, and I was smart enough to think that, hey, maybe I could combine these two.
These boys that played for me back then are just like my own children.
Toby Webb wasn't so much coaching football at Albemarle High School
There's Woodrow.
as he was teaching life.
Those 2 boys were just terrifically fine young men, and they worked hard. This just wasn't thrust upon them. They have earned every bit of it.
That's right, he said 2 boys. While Woody played guard,
Woody Durham was on top of him. His feet flipped out from under him, and Woody Durham was right on that and ate it.
Bobby Harris was on the sidelines too as team manager.
When I was a sophomore in 1957, I was 5'9" and 119 pounds, believe it or not.
When Harris graduated from Albemarle a year after Woody, he appeared to be going in a different direction. Harris earned a scholarship to NC State from his father's textile company.
After 2 years, I realized that, and 4 summers working in the plant itself there in Albemarle, that I was never going to change the textile industry to make it better for the workers.
Their idyllic years of youth in Albemarle faded like so much of the town, but both men took the sense of community they learned there to their job of giving voice to their schools.
Well, they can't penalize them anymore. How do you split 3 inches?
Well, I guess you just move it from 6 inches to 3 inches.
Okay, 1.5 inches. I understand that.
We are sometimes the only connection that so many people in this state have with the university in Chapel Hill.
Play action fake, looking, pumps it, gonna throw deep. Mason there. Oh, just overthrown. Mason quit running.
Although their childhoods forever entwine their lives, their professions keep them in separate social booths.
You know, we've seen some very spirited Duke Carolina games, Wes, and I have a feeling we're going to see another one this afternoon.
Bob and I have a great deal of respect for each other, but I think the competitive nature of the 2 schools with whom we're associated keeps us from being close boyhood friends.
I guess we gravitate toward the center of our universe, and for me it's Duke, and for him it's Carolina.
Now going to run the quarterback draw, bounces it.
Each is a reflection of the school whose games he calls and of the schools he passed through.
And Brown and Davis were really putting the pressure on Matt Baker.
Their old coach knows they belong to something bigger than their hometown.
They're just part of the Duke Carolina scenery.
And each of the men knows that he has been kissed by fortune.
My wife and I were talking about this in the summer, and she said, if you had been able to sit down and write a script for your career, could you have improved on it any? And I said, no.
No television coverage tonight. We're all you got.